You've probably heard this before. What you focus on expands. But have you ever wondered why? Why is it that some people seem to attract money effortlessly, while others work hard and get nowhere? Why is it that visualization, belief, and feeling seem to change results, even when the outer world looks the same? This isn't just spiritual talk. This isn't wishful thinking. This is science. There's a real experiment, a scientific experiment that proves something most people still can't believe. Reality changes when it's observed. And today, I'm going to show you how that one experiment called the double slit experiment proves the law of attraction. It's not philosophy, it's physics. And if you want to understand how to manifest money, wealth, abundance, from a place of truth and power, then stay with me, because by the end of this video, you won't just believe in manifestation. You'll feel it, you'll live it, and you'll finally understand how to use it. Before we dive in, take a second. Like this video if you've ever wondered how the universe really works. Subscribe if you're ready to turn invisible energy into visible results. And comment right now, I observe, I create, I receive. Say it as a declaration, because after this video you're going to start observing your life with a brand new frequency. Let's begin. Let me tell you a story. A few years ago I was broke, like checking my bank app daily and hoping broke. I was exhausted, frustrated, and honestly, embarrassed, because I believed in manifestation. But nothing was happening. I had the vision board, the affirmations, I even listened to subliminals at night. But no money was coming, and the more I checked, the more I worried, and the more I worried, the less came in. Until one day, I saw a video explaining the double slit experiment. And one sentence hit me so hard, I literally had to pause the screen. Now, the act of observation determines the outcome. Wait, what? You mean reality isn't fixed? You mean the observer changes the result? That night, something shifted in me. I realized I had been observing my life through the lens of fear. I was looking at my bank balance with panic. I was checking invoices expecting delay. I was thinking about money, but feeling lack. So I made a decision. No more checking my account in fear. No more saying, I can't afford it. No more observing from lack. Instead, I started observing from belief. Even before the money came, I decided to feel as if it was already mine. 2 days later, I got a refund I had completely forgotten about. $150. Nothing huge. But it felt like the universe saying, you're getting it. Keep going. Hato. That one shift from observing in fear to observing in faith changed everything. And I want you to understand why, because this isn't just emotional. This is physical, it's measurable, and it's real. And in the next chapter, you're going to see exactly what the double slit experiment is and how it proves that what you focus on becomes real. Let's go. Let's break this down. No fluff, no overcomplication. Just science and what it means for your money, your abundance, and your power to manifest. Here's what happened. In a lab, physicists set up a simple experiment. They took a beam of electrons, tiny particles of energy, and aimed them at a barrier with 2 vertical slits. Behind that barrier, there was a screen that would show where the electrons landed. Now follow closely. If electrons were just particles like tiny balls, they should fly through one slit or the other and form 2 neat lines on the screen behind the slits. But that's not what happened. When no one was observing, The electrons passed through both slits at the same time and created a pattern, like waves interfering with each other. Waves, not particles, pure possibility. The electrons weren't just going left or right, they were going everywhere, all options, all realities. That already sounds magical, right? But it gets crazier. When scientists placed a detector to see which slit the electrons went through, everything changed. Suddenly, the electrons stopped acting like waves. They acted like particles again. The pattern disappeared. Just by observing them, the scientists changed the outcome. Did you hear that? Just by looking, just by measuring, just by expecting a result, reality shifted. What does that mean for you? It means that on a quantum level, your attention shapes matter. Reality exists in a state of infinite possibilities until you observe it. Once you do, once you expect it, feel it, believe it, the wave collapses into a result. You're not waiting for reality to happen to you. You're creating it through your perception. Now think about your financial life. If you're constantly checking your finances with anxiety, fear, or frustration, you're observing lack. You're reinforcing the idea that money isn't there. You're collapsing the wave into the same old result. But if you start observing differently with confidence, with gratitude, with calm expectation, you begin to collapse a different possibility. A reality where money flows, where things work out, where abundance is normal. That's not just mindset. That's quantum mechanics. The double slit experiment proved it. And every time you feel into a new possibility without fear, you shift your field, you shift your outcome. Otsuten, if this is hitting something inside you, drop this phrase in the comments right now. I observe abundance. I collapse wealth. And remember, you don't have to force money to show up. You have to learn how to look at your life differently. Because what you observe with belief starts to appear. So now you understand the science. The double slit experiment proves that reality doesn't exist in one fixed way. Reality is potential. It's waves. It's options. And your attention is the spotlight that turns potential into form. Your focus is your power. Now let's talk about money, because this is where things get real. You want to attract wealth. You want to create financial freedom? It doesn't start in your wallet. It starts in your field. Let me show you how to use this. Here's step 1. This is the hardest part, but also the most important. Every time you check your bank account with fear, you collapse more fear. Every time you say, I can't afford that, you observe scarcity. Every time you feel like money is slipping away, you're reinforcing the version of reality where you don't have enough. And here's the thing. You're not being punished. You're being obeyed. The quantum field is listening, and it's responding to your attention. So, from today forward, practice observing differently. Even if your current bank balance isn't what you want, look at it with neutrality, even gratitude. Say, this is where I start, and it's changing already. Breathe into that moment. Feel it shift, because that feeling is the frequency. The field doesn't respond to begging. It responds to coherence. That means your thoughts, feelings, and energy must say the same thing. So instead of saying, I want more money, while feeling panic inside, try this instead. Close your eyes. Imagine receiving money easily. Feel what it's like to pay bills with joy. Visualize checking your bank account and smiling. Feel safe. Feel secure. Feel abundant. Then open your eyes and say out loud, I observe a new pattern. Money flows to me now. When you do that, you're collapsing a new wave. You're locking in a new path. That's not delusion. That's alignment. Here's where most people block the flow. They do the visualization. They say the affirmation. They even feel good. But 5 minutes later, they check their phone, check their account, check for proof. That's the quantum version of pulling the seed out of the ground to see if it's growing. It interrupts the wave. It creates doubt. It resets the frequency. Instead, let it breathe. Feel the desire, then surrender the how. Just like in the experiment when they stopped observing, the magic happened. Let your manifestation cook in the unseen. Let the field do its job. Your job is to stay in the frequency. Observe abundance, not absence. Trust the field. Trust yourself. Let's lock this in together. Right now, speak this out loud and write it in the comments. I observe my wealth with love. I collapse new realities with faith. I trust the invisible to become visible. Say it again. Feel it land in your chest. Let it echo inside you. You're not just thinking about money. You're tuning into the energy where money already exists. And it's coming to you, now. You've made it this far. That already says something about you. You're not just curious. You're ready. Ready to live a different life. Ready to stop waiting and start creating. And now you know the truth. The double-slit experiment didn't just change science, it changed everything. It told us you're not separate from what happens, you're shaping it just by being aware. You're not a victim, you're the observer, you're the director, you're the wave and the collapse. Right now, there are infinite versions of you already existing in the field. One version is broke. One version is surviving. One version is stuck in the same cycle again and again. But another version is free, wealthy, aligned, overflowing. And every single time you observe with faith, every time you act from belief, feel from abundance, and think from your future, you're choosing that version. You're collapsing the reality where you're already wealthy. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. Until money starts showing up, from places you didn't expect. Opportunities find you. People offer help. Clients appear. Ideas spark. Solutions come fast. You feel lighter, more magnetic, more in control by letting go. If this video awakens something in you, don't keep it inside. Speak it out loud. Own it. Drop this in the comments. I collapse wealth with every thought. I observe abundance into my reality. I am open. I am ready. I receive. And if this helped you, share it. Send it to someone who's ready for more. Because sometimes you're the sign they were waiting for. Let this be the moment you remember forever. The moment you stopped waiting and started observing with intention. Let this be the moment where science and soul finally made sense, together. You are not here to chase money. You are here to radiate a frequency so aligned that money comes to you. Not because you forced it, but because you finally allowed it. The field is responding, right now, to you. So breathe deep, look around you, and observe abundance. You're collapsing a new life every single second. Choose with faith, receive with joy, and let the wealth you've been waiting for become the wealth that's waiting for you. We'll talk again soon. And when we do, I hope you're already holding the evidence in your hands. Until then, observe wisely, feel fully, manifest endlessly.